And it looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. So today something very interesting and curious happened. Anthony Reilly deleted his channel. It looks like it was a reaction to in the aftermath of the solar eclipse. Before the eclipse, Reilly made a bet with Sly and a few other guys, including me, that he wouldn't be able to see the eclipse from England. And although he had bad weather over there, it looked like other people that he was in contact with saw it. So yeah, his videos are gone.
Oh.
So did anyone actually manage to? He uploaded something saying his final video.
Yes, he actually uploaded 3 videos. 2 of them were identical. They were like 5 minutes long or so, only text. And then more or less 1 or 2 hours before deleting his channel, he uploaded raw footage from the day of the eclipse, which was, I didn't see it completely, but it was about an hour of material.
Oh,
nothing interesting in there, to be honest. He just drives to the location and back. Yeah.
Oh man. So basically, he didn't see his stuff, but he's believing actually the evidence that's out there. Then I mean, that's basically the end of what happened then.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So actually, who of you is thinking that in some shape or another he will return to YouTube?
I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Well, I've seen enough people delete channels and then they show up in a different channel of sorts. So what do you call it? Maybe he'll just delete that channel and then, well, I see it like this, man. As I was saying a second ago, I just see it like this. I would have actually been much happier. It's also another reason why I wasn't too interested in the bet is because I would have been much happier if he, being a person who was proved wrong about flat Earth, would actually make videos how he learns how to actually properly and objectively perform experimentation to learn about the actual world around him. But you know, we'll probably.
Yeah, I mean, I always had the impression that Anthony was actually curious about the stuff he was talking about. For example, when we compare him to, how was this guy called, Nambi?
Yeah.
You know, the guy with the Lake Pontchartrain CGI claims.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy was over the edge, but Reilly, in my opinion, was not.
No, you see, Reilly always came at everything. Well, basically like a dumbass, like saying that, you know, this guy said, you know, and all this. And I had a long, extensive argument with him on one of his hangouts when he was apparently, well, he was claiming that he was discussing the debunking of Kara when it came to using a planisphere or something like that. And the problem was he didn't even know the material. You know, he was showing somebody else's video saying that they're right, and I was like, well, how is he right? And he couldn't even answer me. You know, and so I mean that's the part that bugs me. You know, bugged me about Reilly is he what the only thing he was solid to was his conclusion. His conclusion, but he had nothing to back it up, and he wouldn't perform any tests. He wouldn't perform any experiments. You know, and all this. He would just say, it doesn't make sense. So default flat Earth. You know, and it's just like, come on, man, really? That's all you got? You know, and that's why I stopped taking him seriously. Yeah, okay, we went back and forth on a couple of chats and stuff, but that was it. You know, there was nothing really to have there.
Yeah, there was some incident 3 or 4 days ago when he compared the stuff that he's doing for YouTube to my actual profession. For those who don't know, I'm a chemistry student. I'll soon have my master's degree. And he said that his quote-unquote research would be as valid as the stuff that I do in the lab.
Well, of course it would be.
Oh, God. Drink bleach.
What were you thinking with all that education stuff?
Education.
Education.
So one suggestion that I have, I actually managed to download a bunch of his videos, like 50% of them. And in his second last video, I mean, the one he called final video, not the encore that he uploaded, he actually made some very weird claims. And my suggestion is we take a look at them. What do you think?
I'm up for that.
All right, so I'm gonna share my
Let me
screen.
make sure I put my weight belt on so I don't split my gut laughing. But okay.
So the video doesn't have any sound; it just had background music, so I don't need to set up anything weird.
Okay.
You see my monitor, right?
Yeah, we see a nice picture of the Earth.
You gotta hit present to everyone, otherwise it won't stay. Cool.
I just lost the overview of my monitors. So.
Fake ass picture.
Should be able to see it.
Yep. I'm deleting this channel 10 hours from now simply because the system on YouTube is filled with people that want to disrupt.
That want this.
Disrupty?
No, there's the 2 missing. But whatever, that shit happens.
Yeah, I guess I was reading it as if it were being spoken. Regardless of the truth, there is no place for truth on YouTube. Well, not when you try and treat it as fact. It says no place for truth on YouTube. I just want you to know why, nothing more.
Okay, there are several things in that sentence. So they want to disrupt the truth, regardless of the truth. So they want to disrupt something regardless of that something. That doesn't make any sense.
That's can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah, I mean, yes. And who is they?
Don't go into they, man. Don't go into they.
They
are the ones who fake that Bielefeld doesn't exist.
They live in the place Sly is showing right now.
Oh yeah,
those are the guys behind the special oak door in my office.
Yeah. I kind of want to make a company called They, just to freak out the.
Can you imagine the hits on YouTube?
Yeah, but also like and make it be like a pharmaceutical company or something, just to fuck with them.
Actually, that would be a cool YouTube name. You just show up as they.
There's someone.
Somebody call me.
There's someone on Twitter who's called Day Incorporated, who takes the piss out of all, like every time someone will say like use they as in sort of this vague, the evil government notion, they will show up.
All right, let's continue, shall we?
Oh yeah, no, we're talking too much. No amount of videos will convince you unless you do your own research.
There's
just what I do too.
Well, okay, Soundly's coming through sometimes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, now we can hear you.
I said, does what I do count as research? I mean, apparently I'm not doing my own research.
No, man, you do all that CGI stuff and them wobbly birds and shit, man.
I mean, I'm in the middle of Lake Pontchartrain. I mean, I can't do any more research than that.
You can't be in the middle of Lake Pontchartrain. If you were there, you wouldn't have a computer to fake the CGI.
Last Saturday I was neck deep live streaming from there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. That was just conspiracy talk.
You just have to have a very, very long cable.
Get that server farm just perfectly balanced on that kayak so it doesn't fall over.
That's why you get 2 kayaks and you have stability. You have a catamaran.
All right.
Oh jeez. When his next sentence starts with Jaren is right, that's just wrong.
It's not what? I think we've already proven that it's the ball. More than enough.
Yeah. Pressurized environment.
I mean, that's
First of
true.
all, I think Ed Sheeran was never right about anything, was he?
I haven't seen anything he's been right about. Actually, I have another video coming out destroying one of his favorite claims.
Which one, may I ask?
Nope.
Ah, damn it.
But I mean, it's true. We do live in a pressurized environment. It's just that the pressure comes from gravity.
Pretty
Yeah, I mean-
much. I love telling flat earthers that you're actually living in that vacuum where stuff is.
I haven't seen the video of Mark. I assume it's Mark Sargent, or is it another one? Whatever.
Probably Mark Sargent.
About the pressurized environment claim, but yeah, there's enough stuff to prove that we're in a pressurized environment. Along the fact that liquids can't exist without pressure.
Well,
I think that's
Thrive and Survive came on one of my comments and said that sea level is caused by the high pressure of the atmosphere.
Wait, as in
pushing it down. No bullshit. Don't think too hard into it, man. That's what he said. I even made a video about that shit. It's the video called "Going Down on Flat Earth."
All right, now comes the really stupid part.
Okay. Morgile is right. That's stupid.
wait,
There's
what?
an electromagnetic existence to our world that science does ignore. First of all,
That almost sounds like he's talking about
existence.
ghosts.
Does he mean there exists an electromagnetic force or phenomenon that we don't know yet, or that we choose to ignore?
No, that's the gravity argument, man.
It says it's like an electromagnetic existence sounds like a pseudoscientific term for ghost.
Yeah. It sounds like one of these
Ectoplasm.
beings in Star Trek that are only composed of energy or something.
Yeah.
Energy and data at the same time.
And then you forgot information.
Exactly. Electromagnetic existence to our world that science does ignore. No, how even if mainstream science were to ignore something like that, as much as they ignore, let's say, vanilla ice cream, okay, doesn't mean that everybody else who has the ability to do some kind of tool work or some kind of measurement work wouldn't pick it up. So that's just a crock of shit, man.
And regarding that electromagnetic argument, quote unquote.
Electrolysis.
Oh no! Yesterday, as said, I had a chat with him, or a Skype conversation, text, not speech. But he asked me if gravity were independent of electromagnetism, and I was by definition. I mean, it's two different fundamental forces in physics. And for some reason, he didn't seem to understand that.
Well, because you said physics and you lost him.
Why do they believe in magnetism? I still haven't figured that one out.
Yeah, because you can't see that one either.
Fucking magnets.
Those damn compasses.
It's like you have this force that's pulling you down to Earth. Fake. You have these two magnets. The force between these two magnets pulling each other together.
No,
Really?
I think his argument was we have this force that's pulling us to the ground, therefore it must be magnetism.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love that argument because the first thing that I always point out to a flat earther when they try and make that argument is quite simply that magnetism repels water. So why aren't the oceans flying?
I just point out I'm not made out of metal.
Well, that's the other side of it, because if you look at it this way, man, if the top of if magnetism was pushing from above, then what do you call it? Then that would almost work, but where's it coming from? Right? If it was pulling from the bottom, then water would actually float up in the air.
Mm.
And if it was pushing from the bottom, water would still float because it's not pole specific. the repelling function, but then all other objects would be lighter. So none of that makes any sense.
Also, what about fridge magnets? Like, how would you, if that would suggest if the Earth is magnetic and that's why things stick to it, how, like, then the Earth would be obviously be much more magnetic than my fridge or the magnet. So why does the magnet stay up on it?
And magnets yeah, exactly. It's the whole water on the ball thing.
Yeah.
And what do you call it? But at the same time, our understanding of the phenomenon of magnets wouldn't be that they stick to walls, but rather, strangely, without connection, they stick to the ground.
Yeah. He's also ignoring the fact that if that were the case, then the magnetic field lines would always be looking downwards.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much wrong with this stuff. You can't see it all, or you can't explain it all at the same time. Bullshit asymmetry principle.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
Well, he did finally come through with his promise to me to take down my videos if they were proven not to be CGI. So that's one silver lining.
So
I guess
this is actually a part of the video which I don't know much about. I've never heard of D Marble and got good times for all.
Well, D Marble, I just actually had a run-in with him. Well, I haven't actually spoken with him or even chatted with him, but somebody kept on throwing me links to him, saying, "Oh, debunk this." You know how you get those. And what do you call it? And I went over to, now I have to say, in his favor at least, I mean, all he's doing is echoing all the claims that we've all heard 1,000 times before: crepuscular rays, what do you call it? Shadows, and all that other wacky stuff. And a bunch of them had to do with the, of course, the eclipse. And he was saying that the blue sky is actually a background behind the moon and behind the sun, and all this, which and now he made, I think it was like 12 points in the video that I watched, because it kept on getting linked to me. And so I went over there, and I wrote out kind of the way I used to do it, just make an itemized list of the claims and give a itemized set of answers. Nothing abusive, nothing anything like that. Just saying, hey, no, you're wrong. Hey, no, you're wrong. A couple of times. And now, to D Marble's credit, it doesn't seem like it matters. But to his credit, my comments are still there. Which is to say that he's not like Jeranism, Globebusters, Thrive and Survive, and all those idiots and Russian vids who all at the very scent of logic they block you or mute you. So D Marble he's just he's a slick talker, and what do you call it? And contrary, honestly, you can take this how you will, but contrary to most of the flat earthers we've seen, he's a sharp looking dude. He speaks well. I mean, he's not somebody who just kind of mumbles his stuff out and all this other shit. And he's basically a new attractive figure. And but unfortunately, it seems like it stopped there. It didn't make its way through the skull to get to the brain. And so that's about where that is. So but he's a pretty popular one. He's sitting at about 18,000 subscribers, I think, last time I saw. And what do you call it? And so he's got a pretty fat following. But and somebody actually took some of my stuff, the debunking Antonio and Hillbilly with that white model that I did, and they actually put it in a video against D Marble and who's this other guy, Bro Sanchez or something. And I mean, they're all kind of new names to me. And but I was like, all right. And the dude was trying to even invite me on to his hangout, but unfortunately I was due to obvious time differences, I was already in bed. But yeah, so these are some up and coming guys. and or at least on their way. Let's say it that way. I won't say up and coming. That sounds like they haven't accomplished anything. I mean, 18,000 subscribers. That's an accomplishment in itself, I guess. But
Yes.
as everybody loves to remind me that I only have 800. What do you call it? As if, you know, I guess you could say quality, not quantity. But who knows? I'm sorry, I'll get off my box here.
No, it's fine. One thing I want to point out is, do you guys remember when Anthony Reilly had some hangouts with Reds back in the day, like 11 or 12 months ago?
Oh, he had a couple of them with him.
Yeah, 3 or 4 of them, I know.
Yeah.
And
He lost every one of them too.
yeah, that's the thing. And he stopped doing them because Anthony had the feeling that Red was insulting him all the time. Do you guys remember?
Poor baby.
Yeah, I just want to say that this Nathan comment there makes it in this context extremely hypocritical.
Hold on a second. D-Marble is right. The eclipse is not caused by what they say it is. Nathan is right. Some people do deserve. Okay, some people do deserve being a cunt too.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The next thing, there is an optic world we don't get taught. Optic world?
Wait, what? Yeah.
It sounds like the title of a sci-fi novel.
All right.
I know what
Sounds
he's
like-
referring to,
Sounds
right?
like we're going Matrix now.
No, optic world sounds like the title of an introduction book to laser physics.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
What he's talking about is how the horizon obstructs buildings in the distance, and like there's some optical effect causing that. That's what he's referring to.
Oh.
He's trying to invent a new perspective.
Right. There's some new optical science that's being hidden from us that causes that. Even though it matches the globe perfectly, you know, who cares about that? Let's just throw that out the window.
Yeah, plus invent a phenomenon that was never observed to compensate for the effect that we see by the curvature.
Damn.
Exactly.
Damn, did you read that out of the textbook, man?
No.
Yeah. Well put. You speak English better than I do.
No shit.
So, next point. Ranty is right. You should not see shit from so far away. Do
Why
you
not? How far away?
guys know exactly what observation he's referring to?
Maybe he's referring to the fact that we can see his shit despite being in other countries.
That's not shit, that's smell. We can smell it.
I have a pretty good idea. Well, I have a specific example. Do you remember Ranty looking at my video and saying he's seeing a buoy that's too far away to be seen by the curvature math in one of my videos?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So it's that type of thing that he's talking about. He's saying that you see too far based on the curvature math, but they always screw it up with that 8 inches per mile squared. Never take the observer height into account. Oh, and they also never take into account that what's the prediction of the flat Earth model? Oh, that's right, 0 obstruction.
Yeah.
So if there's any obstruction at all, it falsifies flat Earth.
Yeah. Lately, I've been getting a lot of people bringing to my attention the world record photography, and that mountain peak that was taken from, I think it was 440 kilometers away.
You mean the one in the Alps that was seen from Spain?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And really cool thing. And people keep on bringing that to me, and I answer them with the same thing. I say, yeah, okay, well, if the Earth were flat, that would be an everyday occurrence. They're like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, because that mountain right there would, you could see about, I think I measured one out the other night. You could see, well, there's a mountain peak about 500 miles away from, or about 700 miles away from Wichita, Kansas. And it turns out that you would be able to see that as large as the moon. And, the same angular size as the moon. And so, the world record photography wouldn't be a world record because we would see it all the time.
Yeah, that's what they don't get. Also, at night, you can see light much, much further away, even though it might resolve to a point in your field of view.
Perspective.
Still,
I mean, the reason that they always use the false formulas, for example, this 8 inches per mile squared thing.
Mm-hmm.
They simply don't understand how geometry works.
Yet want to use the geometry to say it's wrong.
Yeah.
I keep on answering back on that. I said that is a formula derived from some averages and a perfect sphere, of which the Earth is not.
It's
Period.
a perfect. It is, if you do the obstruction height formula, if you actually derive that formula from fundamentals, right, from using trig,
Yeah.
then when you get down to a sphere that has no atmosphere, no refraction involved, and an observer at 0 height, that's what that formula is. And they don't get that. Either they don't get it or they intentionally refuse to, acknowledge that.
Yeah, I think it's just because they don't understand it. like I had to explain to Anthony the tension formula, how that works. What the necessities are. That you need a triangle with one right angle, because he didn't understand how we can actually determine the distance to the moon or the diameter of the moon depending on the angular diameter and the distance, or the other way around. He didn't understand that. So I spent like 2 hours or so drawing this.
Is that before he said? Is that before he said, "I want to see it drawn out so I can scrutinize each individual portion of it"? And all that?
I don't know when that was. I think it was still back last year.
Oh, okay.
That was relatively early.
Okay.
Because to be honest, he said the really stupid shit this year, not last year. Although, have you seen his weather video?
His weather video?
Yeah, it was called Weather. And he was basically making the claim that warmer summers are caused by the sun being closer to England.
Right.
So what about warmer summers in other places than England?
Then the sun is closer to that location. I have it on one of my hard drives. If you guys want a copy of it, I think you can take it.
That's okay. In one of my videos, you said that the sun was both over Poland and never goes over Poland at the same time.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was the balloon footage, right?
Yeah, the dog cam stuff.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh,
so
and
let's go.
By the way, Gail,
yep.
here's a small hint. I'm just one frame. This is a small hint of what I'm doing for Jaron. Just a small hint, and it will be a pivotal thing in the entire discussion of what I'm going to debunk of Jaronism. As silly as it looks.
It looks like a buoyancy and density answer.
Yeah, definitely. That looks like a water pressure dependency on water depth, or air pressure dependency on water depth issue.
Oh my God! I actually get to build suspense. Has nothing to do with that.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun.
All right, guys, let's go on.
Yep.
We are already 40 seconds in, and it's almost 4 minutes long. So.
You still got me presenting to everyone, man.
Yeah.
Do I? No.
Yep. You have control.
Yeah, but according to me, I am already presenting myself again.
Yeah, but it says on top of my screen, you are screen sharing and presenting to everyone. You got to turn that off. There you go. Now it's off.
All right.
So, I'm just going to throw this out there. Where is Ranty Rant and where have they been? Ranty Rant and this Numby character.
I have no idea. I had a hangout with Numby scheduled, but this guy didn't show up. We had agreed on a day, not on a time, only on a day. And when I said him at which time I wanted to make the hangout, I didn't get any answers back. That was 5 days or so prior to the scheduled date, and since then I haven't heard anything of him. And after asking Anthony, he also said that he hasn't heard of him at all. So either this guy is gone as well, or he's on a really long vacation or something.
Well, this is right now the time for, even this, Gio. Right now, this is the holiday season for schools and stuff like that. So
Yeah, but
some folks
that was
might be out
already
of the net.
5 weeks or so ago, I think.
Yeah, but wir reden nicht from England here.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. But
Mhm.
again, no messages whatsoever.
I mean, shit, fucking Antonio's in Spain right now. I mean, it's obviously vacation time to somebody.
Yeah, sure. And by the way, we had another YouTubicide this week. Do you guys remember Leveled Out?
Yes.
I heard the name.
I saw him in chats.
One of our comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one hangout, I think, with him. Yeah, one hangout. And he also deleted his channel a few days ago.
Huh.
Wow.
He was the guy who claimed that when an object that is not as tall as the observer gets close to the horizon, it does not rise above the horizon ever, which I debunked in like 20 seconds. So this guy's gone as well.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, speaking of that, I went to the other side of the Dr. Zach transmission lines, which for the first like 4 miles are pretty straight. I mean,
Yeah.
almost as straight as the other ones.
Yeah.
And I got the curve on the left side, so the transmission lines turn to the right, but I got the curve on the left side, so it's curving to the left, down and to the left, on the left side.
Well, we already knew those ones were crooked anyway.
No, what I'm saying is the very beginning of that line of transmission lines is straight.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I went to the other side of his curve.
Mhm.
So he was claiming that the curve to the right was the reason we saw the curve, right?
Right.
So I went to the other side, basically letting him have the advantage of the towers curving to the right.
Mhm.
And I went to the other side and actually got the curve going the opposite direction of his towers.
Oh, Jesus.
So now it's getting personal.
Okay.
Because
wait,
one of the
wait,
next
Bob.
comments.
Hold on,
we
hold
didn't have Bob. Yeah.
Bob is right. The stars are not seen beyond a certain height. Huh?
I'm not even sure what that means.
I know what it means. That they're talking about balloon footage. How you can't see the stars.
Exposure again.
Exposure, the cameras that are put on balloons. I mean, come on, really? Even if you do a nighttime launch, if you don't have the right kind of camera, which would have to have a long exposure capability, which would be horribly terrible footage when it came back down because of the fact that it'd be wobbling all over the place. You would just have like, I don't know, 5th grade art all over your shit.
Yeah, it would look like, even if the exposure were right, it would look like a picture of Jason Pollock.
Yeah, it was.
Not of Jason Pollock, by Jason Pollock.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it could be a picture of him by him.
Self-portrait.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So Wolfie is wrong. WGS does not prove it's a ball at all.
What is WGS?
I have no idea.
WGS 84, the geodetic model.
Oh, okay.
Ah, yeah.
Wow. So basically, he's saying that even though WGS 84 predicts everything you would see as far as observations, it still doesn't prove that it's a ball.
Of course not. It's all model CGI.
Did this video until now contain any arguments? I mean, it's just listing stuff, but there's no reason given for anything ever.
This is a walkout showing his ass. That's all.
Yeah. It's throwing a final temper tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's getting
and here we are giving it credit.
He's saying here's all the things that have been successfully done.
Slide is wrong. We cannot detect curvature ever. Yeah, that's why you lost the entire city of Blackpool in your picture. Bonehead.
And that's why Slide did this awesome video with this mountain behind Frankfurt.
Well, yeah. But you know what's funny though? I actually liked his photo better. Yeah, okay, mine you can actually measure it. Don't get me wrong. But what do you call it? But his photo, a Blackpool Tower, when they finally actually did take it from Hoylake, what do you call it? And he was missing the entire city of Blackpool. because Blackpool is a shore town. You know, it's a town that, you know, at least the majority of it has a strip right there on the water. And you couldn't see any of it. All you could see was the peak of the damn tower.
All right, next one. Sean Hufford is wrong. Satellites do not control military operations.
What?
Let's see. GPS.
GPS was developed for the military. Look it up.
Yeah.
The military has these walkie-talkies that are they're basically like satellite-based. They're the kick-ass walkie-talkies, like $250,000 walkie-talkie, where they're freaking bouncing shit off of satellites all the time.
Yeah, well, the pricks are fine, but what do you call it? But you know, good luck getting somebody to believe that it's actually pointing at a satellite, even though you have to actually align it. I had the pleasure of using one time, but I don't have the acronym in my head.
Do you guys know the fact that GPS devices actually have a kill switch in case the speed or the altitude is too high? For example, when you plan,
use them to build missiles.
Right, correct. When the GPS device notices that it's either too fast or too high in altitude, it will switch itself off because it will think that it's a missile or a bomb or whatever.
Right. Well, I do know that what do you call it? If war breaks out, everybody's navigation systems are going to die.
Well, everyone who uses GPS, at least.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, don't think you have to remember that there are 2 other satellite networks that are used in a similar fashion, at least that are currently being built.
Yeah.
That's Galileo, and what's the other one called? The one of the Russians?
I can't remember, and I also know.
I think it's GLONASS.
Yeah, something like that. And I know Japan has extra satellites up to provide them with better.
Yeah, they have these satellites with this really eccentric orbits.
Yeah.
So the satellites stay above Japan for like 80% of the time, and then they swing around the planet and come back.
Yeah.
It's quite funny if you actually take a look at where over the Earth the satellite is positioned over the day.
Mm.
And that's a direct result of being not geostationary but geosynchronous, and having a very high inclination and eccentricity.
Yeah.
Next point, Rhetoric is just a dick.
Well, yeah. But he's right.
He's not even wrong about it. We found something where he's right. Sorry, Red, if you listen.
No, Red would agree with him and then just say, but I'm right.
All right.
I just met Red this past weekend, and he's not a dick in person.
No, he's not. It's.
Come on, you're just saying that.
It's only the flatheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody reacts differently to stupid. So
I consider it a form of something akin to an allergic reaction to stupid.
Oh yeah,
He can't help himself. It's an involuntary response.
Next one. Kara thinks Stellarium. It's called Stellarium, not Stellarium. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A, not E. It's her Bible. What a dick. I know a biological reason why Kara can't be a dick.
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
Women can be dicks too, just like men can be cunts.
Yeah, men can be pussies.
That's fair. We live in 2017. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's true. Millennial, you're actually not supposed to point that out. You're actually not supposed to point that out. It makes people uncomfortable.
Oh no.
Wait, isn't Stella a beer?
Stella.
I think it's a beer.
Let's see.
I'm not sure it's spelled like that, but I kind of want it to be spelled like that.
Just to have that point.
Yeah.
Steller.
No.
Well, let's see. It's a website. Synonyms. Let's see. Stellar may refer to any of the following: a botanist, a zoologist, physician, or explorer. Georg Wilhelm Steller.
The people in the chat has okay. The beer is also with an A.
Oh, and that's a microbrewery. Come on now. Yeah.
All right. Oh, the next one is.
A Stellar is a duck.
Yeah, I knew that.
There's a duck. And a seagull. Anyway,
Now
sorry.
here it comes. GeoStreber probably realized it isn't a ball, but must confirm at this point in his working life.
Wait,
What
why?
has my working life to do with anything in this case?
Yeah,
Like
this-
my boss wouldn't give a damn if I were a flat earther as long as I'm a good chemist.
Yeah.
yeah, the shape of the Earth doesn't really affect how.
Yeah.
You gotta keep mixing those good chemtrails, bro. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he also, interestingly, he asked me about chemtrails once. And I said the only reason why people think that chemtrails are a thing is because they don't understand how condensation works. And back then, I actually think he accepted that.
Yeah.
So credit in this case.
He actually accepted a couple of things that I said only 5 minutes later to tell me I'm wrong again. So.
All right, next one. Hector. Oh, I forgot to invite Hector. Shit.
You'll hear about that.
Let me give me a second. I got him.
Well, while you're doing that, Geo has, or what do you call it? Reilly has said in enough posts on my shit that Sly doesn't want to admit that he knows it's flat and all this other shit. So, and he does that as just his little antagonizing way. So, just a boob.
So let's see.
You're watching the chat?
Looks like he's writing in the chat.
So at least Hector is online in Skype, so maybe he will join. But anyway, let's continue. Hector relies too much on formulas.
Oh no! How dare he rely
What is
on
this?
Here comes the Tesla quote.
Yeah, right.
Somebody tried to beat me up on that one today. Said, gave me that Tesla quote, and I was just like, yeah, okay. Tesla's talking about the difference between doing physical experimentation and doing mathematical experimentation, but you can't use it as a defense because flat earthers don't do either. So, kind of shut that one down. Anyway,
do you guys know if Anthony ever used the formula to explain anything? I mean,
No,
I didn't see any numbers on that big purple dildo, so.
I mean, he used the curvature calculator sometime, but he plugged in the wrong numbers, so I don't think that counts.
I think the closest he got was pretending he understood Hector's what Hector was doing.
That means he sat there and just kept going,
Pretend to understand it.
Exactly.
Microblock, do you remember the hangout I had with Hector and Reilly on my channel about pendulums in general?
Yes.
And he didn't understand the difference between momentum and force.
Yes.
Oh, that was
fucking beautiful.
Unfortunately, guys, my power adapter's not working. We'll have to bail out and go buy one.
Bail out. You must be on that boat in the middle of Pontchartrain.
Yeah, if you just take your laptop out there, the electrolysis will take care of your batteries.
Yeah, just charge it.
Wireless charging, baby.
I mean, the good thing about having a server in the middle of a lake is that it's easy to water cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually one reason why the Chinese are currently building floating solar farms, because you can keep them relatively cool.
I was kind of hoping that swimming in the water would kill all my body hair, but it didn't work.
All right, let's continue.
Yeah, we're a whole 1 minute and 7 seconds into this video.
Now that's actually kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I will still be around, but I won't have a public presence. I will be very much under the radar.
He could be anyone.
Yeah,
He could be anywhere.
I just
every breath you take, every move you make.
That's creepy on so many levels.
I'll be watching you.
He's making a list. He's checking it twice.
Sneaking down through your chimneys.
Yeah.
Like a big bowl of jelly.
Well, he did technically make a list here.
I could do an evil joke now, but I won't.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not here for point scoring or winning arguments.
Well, that's good because you didn't
You didn't win that
score
damn
any,
one.
and you didn't win any.
In fact, you lost more than you even attempted.
I just want the truth, and no matter what science tells you, it does not match our reality. Says the guy who thought that nobody would be able to see the eclipse from England.
Mm-hmm.
Says the guy who couldn't conceive of the idea that the Egyptian would build the pyramids as tombs.
Yeah, said the guy who didn't understand the difference between ions and free charges in metals.
Said the man who said that curvature is caused by electrolysis.
Said the guy who didn't understand how evolution works or how a species is defined.
We
I
continue
think we can continue for like an hour like that.
I need a couple of Americans in the chat to start up a Jeff Foxworthy here. You might be a flathead, you know. If you have to explain curvature by making some shit up, you might be a flathead. Oh,
right.
Yeah, my bad, Olaf. Yeah, and said the guy that every single runway is exactly flat, the flattest things out there.
Don't be blinded by science. They are unable to prove the following.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
No, they're not unable to prove
And for some reason, that's
unable.
Instead of a double point.
Mm-hmm.
Unable.
Whatever. Curvature. Proven, I think.
Like just the concept in general,
Just take a look at Sly's latest video. That was awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Axial
rotation. Yeah. Okay. Because axial rotation actually doesn't occur in nature.
I mean, he's technically not said that it's curvature or axial rotation of the Earth. He just said the
axial rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I have this this computer chair and it can rotate, so axial rotation proven.
I can make a ball spin. That's both actual rotation and curvature.
Gravity.
Have you guys seen the 3 hangouts he had with him with Hector about gravity and water pressure?
No, I haven't seen that yet. Guys, I gotta go. Muss mal essen.
All right, see you later.
I'll probably if you guys are still on, I'll probably jump back on in about about half hour or so.
Yeah, I mean we've been in this hangout for 50 minutes and we are on
you'll be at
34 seconds in.
Yeah, you'll be at the 2nd minute by the time I get back.
We already are at the 2nd minute, but whatever.
Okay, bis gleich.
Bis gleich. Servus.
Hello.
The moon causes the solar eclipse. Yeah.
That's the definition of a solar eclipse.
Yeah, and you can actually take pictures of the moon during the totality phase. And when you overexpose them, you see the craters.
Well, the thing is, if it turned out the moon wasn't what blocked out the sun when we thought there was an eclipse, that wouldn't change the fact that an eclipse is still by definition the moon moving in front of the sun and blocking it. We would have to come up with some other name for it.
During our chat yesterday, he asked me that if the during a lunar eclipse, why we still can't see the moon, although the Earth is much bigger. And I explained to him that it's because, in contrast to the moon, the Earth actually has an atmosphere, and that causes the particularly the longer wavelengths of the sunlight to be refracted and to hit the surface of the moon. And he was calculating the ratio between the distance from the Earth to the moon and the Earth to the sun, and he miscalculated by the factor of 100. So he said he did it in the imperial system, but whatever. 240,000 miles divided by 93 million is 0.002%. That's wrong. It turns out it's 0.002, which is 0.2%. So he was wrong by the factor of 100.
Oops.
Yeah. And by the way, Anthony, if you're watching this, which I kind of doubt, but whatever, We can still do this stuff in my geometry program. If you really want to know the angles that are involved and how long it takes for the shadow of the Earth to pass through the moon, or to be more precise, how long it takes the moon to pass through the shadow, we can still do that. It's no problem. Let's go on.
Remember them points.
Is that a dialect thing, or is it simply grammatically?
I'm not entirely
wrong?
sure. It could be.
I don't know.
I know there are dialects where both dialects and sociolects where that would be like normal speech, but I'm not sure if his does it.
Yeah, I think I've only heard that in American accents or American dialects.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's Blackpool, it's weird. So don't be fooled by the evidence that they can.
That sentence. Okay,
Yeah,
that's not.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense if you see it as being unable to prove the following. So challenge the evidence. That's actually a good advice.
Yeah. Too bad he only applies it to our evidence.
All right, they literally have to fake shit for it to be persuasive, whatever, and rely on your ability not to be able to disprove it. Anthony, where have I ever faked anything? That's a challenge. Go through all my hangouts that I did, not only on my channel, but on, well, yours, and on the one on Red's, and I think that's it. And find any instance of where I ever said something that is factually wrong and not got myself corrected immediately or corrected me myself. So, yeah, no, I never made something up.
Or did you?
Or did I?
Dum.
Oh, here we go. Gravity cannot exist without electricity. They are measuring electromagnetic fields but telling you it's gravity. I mean, at least.
Why isn't moving up and down inducing a current?
I think it wouldn't be up and down, it would be left to right.
Well, that depends. I was
under the condition that the field lines are perpendicular to the surface of the planet, and that you're moving parallel to the surface.
I was just thinking that because the field would be changing as you got farther away.
I'm thinking under the condition that it's more or less homogenetic, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Field strength is in a good approximation.
The point, if that was true, then moving around with a piece of metal in your hand, if you move fast enough, you would be electrocuted.
Only if you held it on the two ends of it.
Well, okay.
I think it's called a Hall voltage, what is induced. Hector wants to join.
Cool. Maybe he can explain this to us.
Maybe. So, give me a second.
That's actually a good point. Everett Anderson in chat says, why can gravity pass through a Faraday cage, but electromagnetism can?
Oh, that is a really great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because a Faraday cage isn't necessarily made of magnetic material, and therefore stuff. Electrolysis.
No, but you see, it's a special kind of electromagnetism.
No, it's not special pleading, it's different.
My brain is too tired. I just got that. That's good.
I think where did I get this from? Whatever. So, Hector, still not online. Oh, still not in the Hangout. I think we shall continue until he shows up. They are lying to you. Again,
So-
first of all, who is
they are
they?
back.
And second of all, show me one instance where I or any of the people in this hangout have lied. Just one that would do it.
I'm saying the people in this hangout basically means you and me.
Yeah, and yeah, the guys who have left.
Oh,
as well.
okay, yeah.
So it's like 4 people. That's something. You have to work it out for yourself. But
The thing you've never done.
yeah, I mean, whenever he's discussing anything, may it be biology or physics or chemistry, he also makes the weirdest assertions and doesn't even understand what our position is, and then complains that we're using too big words on him. We had this like 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he really needs to get at least a basic education in natural sciences, physics, chemistry, and biology. That would do it, and mathematics as well.
And before he says, "Oh, but that's teaching all the wrong stuff." Yeah, understanding your opponent's position.
Yes, that's the important thing.
Yeah, you
have to understand what your opponent thinks in order to be able to disprove it. You have to have the capacity to realize. Not all of us do realize it. Some will never be able to realize it.
I like you just randomly put some words in caps.
Yes. Realize what? Is he talking about the stuff prior to that?
I think realize.
Yeah, probably.
This is kind of like reading his final manifesto.
Yeah, and after that he goes, I don't know, mowing somebody down with his transit. YouTube is not the place to work it out. YouTube is a platform infested by a cancer that stops discussion and evaluation, and it's called Flat Earth. Oh, no, it's not. Most of us won't see it.
Okay, now it really starts sounding like a manifesto.
Yeah. Hello, Hector.
Hey.
So before we continue, we have to go back to the point where he actually mentions you. And you will find it hilarious. Yeah, you will find it hilarious.
Yeah, you got mentioned.
Can you see my screen?
Well, I don't know if I should take that as a sign of honor or not, but oh well.
So, where was it?
Further down.
There it was. So basically, Reilly claimed that every single one of us was full of shit in some way or another. And he also had a criticism of you. Let me just play it. First of all, no, and what the fuck? Hector, what do you think about that? Hector relies too much on formulas.
I really have to take this guy to a theoretical physics lecture, and then he'll know what relying too much on formulas looks like.
No, if you do that, his brain will melt down.
No, it won't melt down. There's a protective mechanism, like in a good CPU, that if there's too much load and it's starting to get too hot, then it will underclock automatically. In this case,
is that why
fall over or something?
I think that mechanism might be faulty in his case because he seems to be underclocked all the time.
That was great. So, where were we? Somewhere around here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think around here.
Yeah, that's the thing about
YouTube. Again, YouTube is not the place to work it out. YouTube is a platform infested by a cancer that stops discussion and evaluation. Like, for example, somebody who deletes his channel after shown to be wrong.
Do we know why he deleted his channel?
We can speculate. He's claiming that it's he's saying why he's deleting his channel right here. But I suspect that it's because me and everybody else who was mentioned in his eclipse hangout or show him again that he was breaking his promises.
Yeah, he made an error that was too
Yeah.
big for even him to ignore.
Yeah, he gambled and lost.
Hmm.
So basically, if you're not familiar with it, Hector, he said, you know, there was a solar eclipse in America, right?
Yeah, it's quite hard not to realize.
All right. So you could actually see the partial eclipse from England, from the western part of England, just before sundown and just like 10% coverage or so.
Hmm.
But Anthony claimed that if the Earth was flat and if the moon and the sun were close, yada, 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 then you shouldn't be able to see the eclipse from England. Guess what happened? Not he himself, but some of his colleagues saw it from England. So he obviously lost that bet. And rather than saying, all right, yeah, I'm wrong, and I hold my promises, and I jump ship and say that the Earth is, or acknowledge that the Earth is spherical, he started goalpost shifting massively.
Oh.
So he went back to the fact that first of all, we have to prove that it's actually the moon that's doing it, which we then did, and for some reason then he deleted his channel.
Huh.
Let's continue. I will be around still, but nobody will know me.
Again, pretty
Yeah,
creepy.
that's really creepy. Nobody will know me. Nobody will realize my persona. Nobody will hear me, but I will see you all.
Okay,
Sounds
that.
like
He's
NSA.
become a mad deity.
You mean a normal deity?
Yeah, okay.
All
Also, the moment he starts writing, we will realize his persona.
Yeah.
The moment he makes his presence, because he might be saying that he will only be like watching. That's at least the impression I'm getting. But we all know that he won't be able to do that. He will do something, and it's not that hard to recognize his type of how
his
he writes.
particular style of reacting to questions, challenges, and criticism.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And by the way, someone in the chat just mentioned, do you guys remember when Reilly said that he had observed himself that the moon could inflate in size 8 or 10 times?
Oh yeah.
Did he ever go back to that? I don't think he did.
No.
Yeah, it's another thing. Not admitting that you're wrong and just ignoring it.
I mean, I get it. Ignoring admitting that you're wrong is not really a very convenient thing to do.
Yeah,
but
it's not fun to do,
but not
especially
doing
on
it
a public
and getting called
platform.
out for that is even more inconvenient. So, yeah. Better be honest.
Do your own tests. Look for the curve.
You mean
Humidity
the thing people have done that you've then ignored?
Humidity affects what you see. So now he's acknowledging that different atmospheric conditions matter.
Yeah, because the humidity isn't always the same, and yet we get the same curvature each time.
The optical effects of our environment is our curvature. So he's claiming bendy light, which he's somewhat right about, but in the wrong way.
Bendy Light almost sounds like an album title.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. What's the name of that album by Pink Floyd with the prism on the front? Is it Dark Side of the Moon?
I think that's the one with that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure the chat will correct us.
Just think about that album cover with the title "Bendy Light."
And then the light from the person not only being bent by the person, but like continuing to be bent afterwards. Oh yeah, you were right.
Okay. Just because you say it's bullshit doesn't make it so.
No,
Yeah.
the fact that it is bullshit makes it so.
And the fact that we always, first of all, cite our sources and actually explain and justify what we say. That's the one that that's the part that proves that you're full of shit. In contrast to him. All right. Well, just because science says it's a spinning ball doesn't make it so.
Somebody saying that it is a spinning ball doesn't make it so. Somebody actually measuring that it is that it is spinning and that there's a curvature is proof that it is.
Yeah, that's good enough. Goodbye, everybody, or goodbye, all. I won't be back, not publicly anyway.
Again, pretty fucking creepy, Anthony.
I mean, the first 2 sentences aren't, but the third one.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
I'm sorry it has come to this. Consider this as a YouTubicide.
I would probably delete the E in that.
Yes. I mean, if you take a look at the title of my Hangout that's live, the Hangout that we're in, it's YouTubicide without the E. And actually, YouTubicide is the wrong word.
It would be. That would be killing YouTube.
No. According to Urban Dictionary, YouTubicide is when somebody kills himself or herself because something that has happened on YouTube.
Okay, but if you take it literally, it would mean that you kill YouTube. What it actually should be would be YouTuber something side.
You have to remember that we're talking about Anthony and the definitions don't matter.
No, that's right.
It isn't
to
the
be
place
honest,
for.
that's kind of a shame because I had collected a little bit of data from a Cavendish experiment that I had run on the grounds of my university. I thought I had lost it. That was one of the things that I had lost when I failed to properly back up my hard drive, but I still have that stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, we can upload it anyways.
He's still around, so if you put it somewhere, he will probably see it.
Yeah, Hector, we can upload it on my channel. He will probably see it.
It's not a lot. I'll just share part of my screen.
Oh yeah, then let's do that right now. Little data.
Just on the fly. All right. So
okay.
Basically, what you see here is.
Can you see it? Wait, Hector. Before going any further, I need to see.
It's
that
in the Hangout.
Yeah, that the chat can see it.
Yeah.
Looks great. Okay.
Yeah. Basically, what the setup is we've got the Cavendish pendulum with a little mirror right in the middle, a laser pointing at it and reflecting off of it across the entire width of a lecture hall. And on the other hand of the lecture hall, there's a scale. And what you see here is on the vertical axis, you've got the position of the dot of the laser on that scale. And to the right, you've got the time. And you see there that it's basically a perfect example of a harmonic oscillator with a continuous dampening, where with in terms of the behavior, it's a normal pendulum without any notable disturbance. What I did here, I had a least squares fit executed by GNU-plot. If you basically want to do a data analysis, GNU-plot is a rather useful tool if you've got your data in a format like that.
Practically Origin Lite.
What's Origin?
Origin is a
statistics program.
Statistics program, yeah. You don't know Origin?
No. When I need to do an analysis like that, I usually open up a C++ compiler.
Oh, okay. That's the alternative. Because at least in chemistry,
and biology.
Yeah. You guys are just too lazy to learn programming. But anyway, back to topic.
There's a whole discipline in biology where you use programming. How do you think all the genetic stuff was figured out?
Writing simulations and letting stuff run loose?
No, it's some very computational hard and big statistic stuff.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I was planning to repeat the experiment because there's a small discrepancy if you take a look at, in particular here and here, basically at the whole area in this region, because I was executing this experiment on a Thursday right after the last lecture, which was an experimental physics for dental medicine students lecture. And apparently those guys produced quite a considerable amount of hot air when talking about physics, which has warmed up the room quite a bit. And the experiment is set up rather close to where the airflow from the air conditioning comes down. So in the end, we begin with a rather warm setup here on the left that is cooled down due to the airflow from the air conditioning working at maximum because it's trying to offset, well, whatever the dental physicists did in there and what the dental medicine guys did in there. So this offsets the results a little bit to the higher numbers, and then after a while the room is cooled down and the air conditioning gets turned down automatically, which means that we're going back to a rather normalized behavior. I was hoping that sometimes during the holidays I could go in there and have first a test run to see if it behaves properly and do it without that, basically without that thermal effect. At least that's what I think is the reason behind those little discrepancies here. Might be something else.
I mean, it's not a bad guess.
Say again, please.
It's a good guess for what might be causing it.
Yeah. And also what you can see here is basically the green curve, which connects all the red dots, is how the whole thing would behave if absolutely nothing else would be affecting it. And the reason why I printed it out that way is there's absolutely no way you can say, oh, that's just the wind or you nudged it in some way, because if that was the if you only have 2 data points at the beginning and at the end, then you may have a cause for there might be other effects. But if you've got around 200 data points here, then just some wind blowing around, making it just by pure chance hit every single one of them rather accurately. No. And also by taking a look at the frequency, so how long it takes to swing back and forth, you can calculate from that the spring constant of the wire from which the pendulum is suspended.
Hey guys, I'm back. For some reason, my router decided to reboot, so I hope it's now stable. And did I miss something important?
Just me talking a little bit about maths, nothing of particular importance.
By the way, did you plug this through a Fourier transformation?
Not yet.
All right. So,
but anyway, what I would expect to see is basically just a few large peaks and maybe some minor signals. I could try to type up something to do that. But you know me, I'm a lazy bastard.
Yeah. I mean, the more lazy you are, the better, because you will find a way to do work efficiently.
Yeah. Which would usually the way to do the work more efficiently usually takes more energy than to actually do the work, but you save the cost in the future.
Probably. So, shall we go on? There's still exactly 57 seconds to go.
It isn't a place for intelligent conversation.
Well, at least you got that right.
I mean, 1/2 of the conversation is usually intelligent.
I'd say it takes 2 for an intelligent conversation.
All right. That's a fair point.
Otherwise,
I just want everybody to know from the bird's mouth why this is happening. It really isn't a ball, and it just isn't worth the hassle. If you really think that it isn't a ball, it would be worth the hassle.
Stop. It's happening because it's not a ball. No, it's happening because it's not worth the hassle. That has nothing to do with whether or not it is a ball or not.
Oh yeah.
That's that was my point.
Okay. The truth is out there.
Okay,
You have
Mulder.
to work it out for yourself, though. YouTube videos won't do it for you. Yeah, buy a physics book.
Go talk to some 6-year-olds.
And probably don't start with the physics books that I usually buy.
Yeah, I mean,
Start with
just
something a little less.
just introduction into Newtonian mechanics would do it, I think. At least in most cases. And a little introduction to geometry. So like a geometry book for seventh graders or something.
I mean,
I do have an introduction into Newtonian mechanics over here, and it's not what you'd want to start with. At least not that kind.
I just got my book
Basically,
for
just pay
advanced.
attention in school.
That's
what I would say.
I just got the book I'll be using for advanced cellular biology, and it's for some reason, even though it's laid out, it even says on it that it's intended for people taking advanced courses in cell biology. It starts out with a chapter on what a cell is. That's
Micro, you're having audio issues. You're crackling somehow. Did he just mute himself? Yeah.
How about now?
Ah, that's much better.
Yep.
Yeah. There's something.
Was it the case all the time? Fuck. It might be possible that you've been speaking with this issue all the time. I didn't even notice.
Oh.
Yes, he did.
Oh no. Ah, whatever. Shit happens.
He was well audible. It was just a little, slightly annoying.
Sorry.
So just
never
apply
mind.
the maths to buildings at distance, and you know it ain't a ball of the size we are told.
You mean the thing we've done?
Yeah, and which fit exactly. For everybody who hasn't seen it, I really recommend you guys watch Slice Barkane's last video. He took a shot of the skyline in Frankfurt and basically measured the mountain side that was in the distance behind it. And that one picture alone proved that the Earth is spherical.
Also, who again likes to use the talking point that maths doesn't prove anything?
Don't know, but I can't remember. But I think it starts with an A.
Yeah, I think it was this British bloke.
Anthony.
Ah, we already have the first flat earther, or maybe troll in the live chat. On the level, I suspect that this guy's leveled out, but who knows?
No idea.
Hey, on the level, come in here and defend your shit. But I already asked him that before in earlier Hangouts, and he never did, so doubt that will happen. Where are we? Yeah, right. Goodbye, friends. That sounds like a suicide note.
Yeah.
Now here comes the creepy part again. I will be around, although I doubt you will see me, for I do not want to be seen.
Okay. Why does he keep reiterating that point? He said it several times.
Because this is literally the only point he can make.
Then just make the video shorter.
Yeah. It's not about subs for me, it's about the evidence and nothing more. Wrong, because if you actually cared about it, you would, for example, have cited the guy from the lighthouse observation correctly, where you misrepresented the position of the observer by 5 meters or something. So no, I'm calling bullshit on that one. Do you guys have anything to say about it?
No, you pretty much summed it up.
Yeah.
Other than that, this really sounds like a wannabe Batman that doesn't really work out.
They can't prove our world.
That sentence doesn't even make sense. I know what you mean. I know what he means, but
The only argument that I see there might be if he's arguing for solipsism there, but I doubt he is.
I don't think he knows how to spell solipsism.
Because in that way, he's somewhat right that we, if you guys even exist, can prove that you guys exist. If you know what I mean. Solipsism is weird. But you are told they can. Yeah, newsflash. We actually, in the non-solipsistic sense, can prove properties of our reality.
Well, yeah, and it's a bit if we're gonna go with the solipsism, even if if it turns out that no one else actually exists, the consistencies within the fantasy or dream or whatever,
they still apply.
They're still consistent, and
yeah.
And since I don't know a way to get out, I'm stuck in here.
Correct. Yeah, that's why solipsism or hard solipsism at least is a dead end.
Well, it's not necessarily a dead end. You just it's still a valid position. You just can't use it for anything.
Yeah, therefore it's a dead end because it doesn't have any application whatsoever.
And in the extended sense, also no bearing whatsoever, because you're never going to be able to either fully prove or fully disprove it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, correct. All right. 6 seconds to go.
In the chat, Lottie, derp, 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 fat man.
Yeah, Robin, that's City. Robin, that's either Numby or Ranty.
No, it's Numpty.
Do you think it's Numby?
No, they're both. No, they're both. Because remember, Robin has been several different characters because he keeps adopting. Batman keeps changing them because they either die or I guess get too old.
All right, on the level. If you're claiming that we're full of shit and we're liars, prove it. Come in here and defend your shit.
Yeah.
I give you like 2 minutes to respond. So it's 2023 over here.
So it's 2 minutes for the last few seconds of Anthony's video.
Yes.
Now I'm wondering. Now I'm trying to see which of the different Batman villains everyone would be.
So I think that's it. Is it?
Yeah. Now that picture has become infinitely more creepy now that he said all the things about watching us from the shadows.
I know a creepier one.
But let's see. Who would be who?
In what context?
Who would which Batman villain would all the so-called globe earthers, like all the sane people, be? If he's Flatman, what are the rest of us?
Hector's nice, man.
No, you have to it has to be an actual Batman villain.
Okay. Yeah, wasn't this guy? No, it was Dr. Freeze. Damn it, I'm not good with Batman stuff. Oh yeah. As a parody of Bane, just be Brain.
But who would that be?
That's you, obviously.
But I'm not I'm not like
yeah, Bane. I know I hate this shit. So it's a little shame that either Sean Hufford and Kara didn't join. I actually invited Kara, but I didn't reach Sean. So yeah, shit happens. So what I'm going to do now is I'll open the Hangout. Or do you guys just still have anything to talk about?
Not really.
No, not really. And I will be leaving soon. I need to get up tomorrow
so
and get to work.
by the way, no response from on the level.
Yeah.
So at that point, I think he's a troll. Or an asshole, whatever.
Let me take a look at his channel. 4 videos, 62 minutes in length, about the flat Earth. 7 subscribers. That does sound that does not really sound a lot like a troll.
When you show the curve, was that a question on the level? Come in the hangout and ask
No,
stuff.
I think he's making a demand. He won't.
All right. So let's. I'll just link you to Slice Parkane's video, but his latest one, because that alone was awesome. Geo is the Mad Hatter.
Oh no, I know who I am. I'm the Scarecrow.
Oh yeah.
I'm the man. No, you're the Scarecrow, because wasn't the Scarecrow a chemist? I think he was. He's a mad chemist who makes like weird gases.
Psychiatrist or something?
Yeah, that's right. He was a psychiatrist looking into the effect of fear. But he does.
Right.
But he uses gases.
Hallucinogenics.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're that.
Oh. I thought Reilly would be online, but it's a parody channel, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got me. That one was awesome.
You got me.
The lie of Reilly. That's brilliant. Holy shit. So, Mr. Night for the Children or anybody else, get your asses in here.
It's a bit weird that there's a face on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed like to look like one of these helium balloons that you can buy on fun fairs. And I think I pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
Also, you guys obviously can't see it in the original frame rate. I got it here in glorious 60 FPS.
Anyways, I'm gonna drop out and then.
Yeah, all right. I think I'm going to end the hangout anyways, because it doesn't appear that anything is happening. So thank you guys for watching, and well, it's a shame really that Anthony is gone, because his present was dumb but useful, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he was a good example to teach by.
Yes, like back in the day when Venom Fang X was still active.
He's still technically active.
Yeah, I mean he's still technically active, but he doesn't.
No one cares about it anymore.
He does. First of all, that, and he doesn't upload creepy Batman parodies every 2 minutes or something. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
When he had that meltdown.
Anyways.
By the way, Microblock, do you know if Anthony can still win the dumbfuck of the year?
I don't think there's anything that would prevent that. You would have to ask Web.
Isn't the one of the shit criteria? Thank you. Fuck. Listening to a radio, watching stuff, it does makes me stupid. One of the criteria for the dumbfuck for winning the dumbfuck of the year, isn't it that first of all, the guys who want it or who have to be or who can be in the list have to have had contact with rats in the year?
No, it changed so that he just has to have contact with one of the people that nominates.
All right, so that would still apply. And isn't another point that whoever wins must be able to take the trophy personally or something?
No, I don't think. No, that's not a requirement.
It wasn't okay. Yeah, then he might still win dumbfuck of the year. Hashtag Anthony Reilly for dumbfuck of the year.
Anyways, I'm gonna head out.
So, Soundly is back.
Bye.
Bye, Microblog. Thank you for coming on.
Bye.
I'm back, but I'm not sure how good the quality is going to be as I'm on my phone.
The quality is quite crappy, but it's good enough to understand you. So we're already through Anthony Reilly's video, and we were actually thinking about ending the Hangout right now. Do you still have anything you want to say about Anthony?
No. I think that's covered.
No final comments or anything?
There's a whole lot I could say about Anthony, but I'll say it in videos, I guess.
Yeah, all right. That sounds like a plan. So again, thank you guys for coming on, and I thank everybody in the audience for listening. It was fun as usual. So see you.
Thanks, Joe.